Yeah. So that the answer, Mr. Prentice here is Mr.
Pete Nice.
Yeah.
Pete Nice? Oh, Mr. Pete Nice, yeah.
Are you literate?
No R.
English is my second language. English is my second language. Everyone knows this. The whole answer's Mason
I
Taylor.
can only imagine you at the DMV trying to go.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
awful.
brutal scenes all around.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Barry's friends last night. Are you sure you want another one?
You know what?
Chairman 227.
Hey, Chairman 227. I got news for you.
The drunkler.
No,
they were calling
the drunkler. Hey, the drunkler's a good one. Honestly, I wish they had said, "Are you sure you want another one?"
Fantasy Football Pregame with Matthew Berry.
Without further ado, welcome into Fantasy Football Pregame. Hopefully we've all recovered from Thanksgiving, had a few days to get rid of the leftovers, and now we're clear-headed and ready for Week 13. George Zavarikas, Matthew Berry, Jake Croucher, and Lawrence Jackson. Matthew playing Hurt a week ago. Where you at this week? Full strength?
Bill, hey, you know what? I'm a little tired. Stayed up late to watch Alabama clinch the Iron Bowl.
That game did not end that late.
No, it was. For me, it was. For me, it was. For me, it was a little late. I'd woken up early, so.
I was watching Notre Dame.
It was a long day. That ended up late.
11 is late.
That was late. That was late. Either way, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm here. Let's get everyone a win for Week 13. I'm very excited, and I'll start off with a toast. To Michael Wilson. Toast to Michael Wilson. Now, Michael Wilson over the last couple of weeks has been nothing short of amazing. Marvin Harrison is coming back today. It may end today. I don't know. I have Michael Wilson ranked over Marvin Harrison. But either way, it's been a glorious couple of weeks. A toast to Michael Wilson. If this is the end of him, elite wide receiver one, so be it. It's been an unbelievable run, though.
Yeah. He's
Cheer.
Climbed up the Wilson power rankings, gone ahead of the volleyball and castaway. I wonder who's next for Michael Wilson. What can he do?
1,000%. And by the way, I'm just saying, for people that are wondering, I have Wilson ranked ahead of Harrison this week.
Wilson!
Wilson!
All right, I'll go next here. My toast is to undrafted rookie Max Brosmer, who's going to make his first start today for the Minnesota Vikings. And what are fantasy managers hoping? Can this help Justin Jefferson? Well, I think it can, because I don't know how much worse it could get. And he's not going to be as mobile as J.J. McCarthy. So here's to Max Brosmer getting your first start as an undrafted rookie. Very impressive.
Okay. My toast is to the only team in the NFL that I'm confident is any good. That's the LA Rams. All these other teams, Bills, their quarterback gets sacked 8 times. Kansas City Chiefs, I was told they were good, and I bet accordingly. Their pass defense is rubbish. The LA Rams are right now the only team that you can count on in football, so I toast to them.
They're damn good. To me, the plucky 2-10 New York Giants get Jackson Dart back. They've actually been, for a 2-10 team, they have been fun to watch, and Jackson Dart had been a breakout star preseason. John Gruden, who had that all-access quarterback room, with Jackson Dart said, you got to clean up your running style. You take too many hits. We have seen that so far, something the Giants want him to address, but he has been a blast to watch as a rookie, and looking forward to seeing him back under center for the G-Men.
What is this music? This is new.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like an award speech.
I believe they actually played it at the end of Castaway when Wilson floated away.
I think something. Wow. Well, way to ruin more Castaway for me.
Again, Castaway came out, I believe, in 2001.
I'm just saying, whatever.
It breaks the
I'm
two-decade
just saying,
rule.
for the love of God, you know what I mean? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the volleyball does all its own stunts. So just so you know.
Outrageous. It's outrageous. You're killing me here.
Spoiler alert also, the players ruled out for Week 13.
Yes.
And the top of the list, we thought faith in 5. Jaden Daniels was coming back, but the elbow, he's still out, Matthew.
Yeah, of course. There's a chance he plays next week.
He's going to play next week.
I think it's the dumbest thing in the universe.
He's on my team. I'm the captain now.
The only thing I can hope for is I hope the Commanders lose tonight. Hope they go to 3-9 and they come to their senses. They did give themselves an out this week. They're like that he's not going to play until he can do everything. So we'll see there. Obviously, McCarthy's not going to play. Kamara. Hampton, we had hoped Hampton might get back. Looks like next week will be the key. Trey Benson, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Also, Mari DiMaccardo, he is out. It is going to be the Michael Carter and Bam Night show once again for Arizona. Detective Drake London, it's not going to go. And how many targets for Brock Bowers in this new look Raiders offense? Greg Olsen calling the plays. Chip Kelly no longer there. Michael Mayer has been ruled out.
So for the Bucs, questionable and should play Baker Mayfield. How much of Bucky Irving are we going to see with the shoulder and foot injuries? They said they will monitor his touches, whatever that ends up being.
Yeah.
Bam Knight, who had been questionable throughout the week, should play. Marvin Harrison Jr., we've been watching. Cris Olave all week with that back injury. All those guys expected to play. The one who's truly questionable, Alec Iomanner for the Titans, may or may not go. Something to keep
To which
in
we
mind.
say again,
Again.
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Exactly.
You're in a
It's just
deep league if
No.
you're really grinding over start-sit with him in your lineup.
Alec Iomanner, congratulations just for making this list. Like that it matters whether or not you play. Like that's the best thing he's done all year.
It's the age-old proverb: if Alec Iomanner falls over in the forest, does anyone hear it?
No.
I don't think so at this point.
Here's where his value is. Just to give you guys a hint.
Do tell.
He's a free agent in our league. In the League of Assholes, where literally like there is not one player that has a pulse that isn't rostered. Where backup quarterbacks are taken, where quarterbacks that are injured are rostered. Alec Iomanner is out there just for anyone.
He's bounced around a couple of teams, but
He's walking the streets right now, just trying to find a home.
Just trying to find a home.
he
Backup producer Pete, who honestly doesn't has room for guys. You know, it's not like
Well, he
Good
picked
plays.
up Max Brosmer, and I don't even know if he's ever seen him
starting
play.
him.
He's starting him. Oh.
He's never seen him play. He's not even sure who he is.
Yeah.
You want to know how down and dirty
Right.
our league is? I went looking for Max Brosmer, and he was already rostered.
So did I.
Backup producer Pete built his team around Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a superstar of his lineup.
Michael Bittner, 79.92. Vidal or Neal, full PPR, or Jaden Higgins in the flex. Choice of 3.
Yeah, I get listen, I like Jaden Higgins. He's started to come on a little bit more, and I get the idea with Devin Neal, where because he's going to be the guy that's
Kamara out.
with Kamara out for the Saints, but like they're still not a good football team. I think the answer here is Kamani Vidal. I get the question given all the injuries to the offensive line, and it's not a pushover matchup against the Raiders, who have actually been top 12 against the run over the last month. All that said, no Amari and Hampton. I do think off of the bye that they've probably shored up the offensive line a little bit. And Vidal, just in terms of the amount of touches he's going to get on what we think is a good offense, I'm going to say Kamani Vidal is the answer there.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, it's a better offense than the Saints.
What?
That we know. It's a better offense than the Saints.
Exactly, Lawrence. That's the idea. I
That's
think Vidal
what
has a better
matters
chance
here,
at a
yeah.
touchdown. I think there's going to be more opportunities for scoring on the Chargers here.
And they got a dream matchup against the Raiders. I mean,
Dreamish.
Dreamish. The Raiders are plucky defensively on that line, actually. I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good per play rush defense. That Max Crosby there helps your rush defense, obviously. But the hope would be is that the Chargers are almost 10-point favorites, and they'll just get the ball back quickly a lot. So they'll have lots of opportunities.
You think with the
volume.
game script, he'll get at least 15 to 20 touches in a.
Last time we saw them, they're getting their ass kicks at Jacksonville. Then they go to the bye. So my suspicion is that
Underrated, shameful
Harbaugh
performance. A shameful performance from the LA Chargers. Great shame.
The worst performance of the year, given everything.
And it shows, not having Joe Alt, the impact it has on that line, and I guess how pedestrian they have looked without him as their left tackle. We got a question here. Daniels Semick, Devin Neal, Kenneth Walker, or Gainwell, PPR need one.
I think it's Ken Walker, and I don't think it's particularly close, to be honest with you. I think Walker has a really big game here for Seattle. They're home favorites by almost double-digit favorites. They're 11.5 is the line at home against Minnesota. Vikings are a bottom 10 run defense. Max Brosmer again, poor kid. Lawrence, you toasted him. We have hopes that can he get the ball to Justin Jefferson? Yeah. Can he at least be better than J.J. McCarthy, which is a very low bar to clear? Tough weekend if you're a Michigan fan. That said, I don't know that Brosmer, this is like as tough a spot as it is to make your first start. There's an undrafted rookie
especially
going on the road, gets an offensive line that has been up and down this year on the road at Seattle, one of the best defenses in the NFL. The expectation here is that Seattle's up, they're up big, and Ken Walker gets a heavy workload. Ken Walker, by the way, his usage has increased each of the last couple of weeks, over 60% of the snaps last week for Ken Walker.
Which makes sense as he's better than Zach Charbonnet.
That's correct.
So it makes sense to give him more work.
You'd think, but it's taken us a while.
And if Max Brosmer is worse than J.J. McCarthy, based on EPA, he'd be the worst quarterback since 2000 because J.J. McCarthy's 851st out of 852nd quarterbacks. the worst all-time Jamarcus Russell.
He's so terrible.
That's
I'm
something
amazed.
hard to do.
Yeah,
Like, that is really hard to do.
he's been so brutal. I'm surprised he doesn't play for the Bears. Like, that's the level of incompetence.
Well, he beat the Bears. Recall, he beat the Bears.
Did beat the Bears week 1.
the Lions.
Bears got their revenge.
Really should have beaten them twice.
As a Bears fan, are the Bears last year's Commanders?
Very possibly. I mean, listen, that was an impressive performance against the Eagles. It
Yes,
really
it
was.
was.
Really was. The
In
defense is
all
playing.
facets of the game.
The defense is playing well. They're running the ball well. That offensive line is playing great. We talked about in the offseason that no team improved their offensive line more this offseason than the Chicago Bears, and that Caleb Williams is doing enough as a quarterback with your pass catchers that, yeah, I think there's a very real chance that I don't know if the Bears are playing in the NFC Championship
But
game.
they can maybe pick off a playoff game.
Absolutely. They're absolutely in that mix.
Thomas Hanson, 43-70 full PPR, Hunter Henry, or Gainwell?
Yeah, I think the answer is Kenneth Gainwell, who's playing, unfortunately, a decent amount. Look,
Sorry, Scanlon.
yeah, what?
Unfortunately
you're
for
watching.
he's
No,
so explosive.
I'm starting Kenneth Gainwell in the League of Assholes today. Go, Kenneth.
loud and proud.
I'm starting Kenneth Gainwell in a 14-team half-point PPR league as well. Same sort of thing. It's just like he's going to get about half the carries, Gainwell is, half the touches against this Buffalo team that's been a bottom 3 run defense over the last 4 weeks. You can run on Buffalo. We know that's what Pittsburgh wants to do anyway. Yeah. And so Warren is a guy that, obviously is sort of the 1A, but Gainwell continues to eat into his workload. Like, Gainwell's going to touch the ball 10 to 12 times today, one way or the other. Hunter Henry, I think last week was just a product of he plays Cincinnati. The Giants are actually pretty decent against tight ends. Henry's been bad for a long, long time. Pops up against Cincinnati. I need to see it again.
This from Stephen Anthony. I like it. Fix my lunch. Do I start mashed potatoes and gravy with turkey or stuffing with 2 eggs over easy, full PPR?
It's mashed potatoes and gravy with turkey. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, it's turkey. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes. No,
Stay on brand.
Yeah.
I'm with the mashed potatoes. Get that turkey up out of here.
You're not a turkey guy?
I don't like no
You're
turkey.
short in turkey?
I don't like no turkey.
He's
What?
doesn't like to eat his own. Come on, that was pretty good. Screw you guys. That was actually better good. That was fairly good. I like
He
that
ain't
one.
registered in me.
No, I'm calling you a turkey, is what I'm saying, Lawrence. The premise of that joke is that you, in fact, are also a turkey, and you did not want to eat your own kind.
Lawrence is
That is there you go. Well, it's just so you understand.
His
so everyone
scowl and
gets.
the burning questions was his response to that. The Cardinals, only 3.5-point dogs at the Bucks. Banged up Baker, over under 44.5. But we're turning the focus to Bucky Irving. Big unknown what his workload is going to be. Start, sit, Bucky, his first game back, Matthew.
I think you start him. I think he's the most talented running back in that backfield. I think they like him. I think they've held him out for a long time. Because of the production they've gotten from Rachaad White and specifically Sean Tucker, they haven't needed Bucky Irving specifically. Like they've gotten a decent amount of production out of the run game. Having said that, that hasn't turned into wins. They're losing, and this is an important game for Tampa Bay's overall NFL season. So the fact that they've taken their sweet time here with Bucky Irving, I don't think that Bucky Irving would come back unless he was ready to go. Will you see some White and Sean Tucker? Sure you will. Sure you will. I have Tucker at 32. I have Rachaad White at 34. But Bucky Irving is my running back 15 as we sit here today. Worth noting, by the way, you'll hear us quote a bunch of rankings. You're like, wow, Bucky Irving up to running back 15? That seems pretty high. Understand that we've had 8 NFL teams already play this week. And so the way we do our rankings is that when the Eagles and Bears play Friday, we take all of our Eagles and Bears players out of it. So we've taken Swift and Monungai and Saquon Barkley out of the running back rankings, right? We've taken out Gibbs and Montgomery and Javonte Williams and Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs and Chase Brown, all the guys that have played over the Thanksgiving holiday. So that's why, as we sit here today, I have Bucky Irving at running back 15. Look, it's a good matchup against the Cardinals. They allow the 8th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. I think he gets enough work. I think he gets at least double-digit touches in a good matchup. If you've been holding on to Bucky Irving and you're going to start a Buccaneers running back, Bucky Irving to me is the answer.
Jay, how do you read this line? Bucks just favored by 3.5 against a 3-8 team at home.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the fact that the Bucks, since that hot start, since they were 4-1 and Baker Mayfield was having all those late game heroics and he was sitting around the MVP favorite, they just haven't been that good for the past month. And I get that Baker got hurt against the Rams, and that was a reason they got blown out. They got blown out before Baker went down. Like, they just haven't played particularly well for a while now. The wide receiver core has been banged up. Meku Buka has really tailed off, so offense struggling. And then the defense has struggled against the pass for what feels like 3 years now. So I don't think this is a great team at the moment. And the Cardinals getting healthier, Will Johnson back, secondary healthier overall. So I think this is going to be a pretty evenly matched game.
Let's hit pause on this matchup, get to this question on YouTube. Waddle, Ibuka, Bucky, or Judkins in the flex. Some good options.
I think it's Jalen Waddle here. You know, I think Jalen Waddle has a huge game today, and I think he actually has a huge stretch down the end of the season. Their schedule is unbelievable. So this game is at home. Tua has generally, throughout his career, played a lot better at home. Saints are, as a secondary, I don't think have anyone that can keep up with Waddle. He just gets such massive target share that, to me, I think Waddle not only has a big day today, but I think for the rest of, if you look at the Dolphins, you know, kind of play out schedule the rest of the way, especially in the fantasy playoffs, you know. I think Waddle has I think Waddle is somebody to try to trade for.
Yeah, he's a legit wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather have Jalen Waddle than Justin Jefferson the rest of the way.
1,000%. So Ibuka's been up and down. Baker Mayfield, he's going to give it a go, it seems like. But, you know, there's always a chance one more hit.
Yeah. Also, Baker, like, he guts through it, obviously, and he plays hurt, but sometimes, like, the results aren't pretty. Like, the last time he really gutted through an injury was that final game against Carolina 2 years ago, where, like, the guy couldn't move. Like, he was out there in body.
Last season.
But they needed Antoine
too.
Winfield to save that game, and, like,
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't expect a super explosive Bucs offense until it's proven that we see it.
Lawrence, final question with Cards-Bucs. How would the return of MHJ impact this Cardinals passing game?
I think a decent amount, at least enough to the point where you're not going to get Michael Wilson averaging 12 receptions, 150 yards a game like he's done the past 2 weeks. When you look at before Marvin Harrison Jr. got hurt, Michael Wilson's highest targeted game was 7. So I would expect a number more closer to that, especially if you get Marvin Harrison in the game and you see that he's okay and he's running regular in the offense. I think it'll go back to normal, more like an even split, to say the least, between these Cardinals receivers.
I think this is one of the most fascinating storylines of today. So look, week 6 through 10, Michael Wilson played with Marvin Harrison, and he averaged just 8 points per game, had basically a 14% target share, a little over 44 yards per game. Not a lot of touchdowns. Weeks 11 through 12 without Harrison, you know, almost 28 fantasy points per game, 32% target share, over 150 yards per game, right? So just like insane numbers without Marvin Harrison. Now, with Brissett, Marvin Harrison has had a 20% target share just in those weeks 6 through 10. But he had 3 or fewer receptions in 2 of his 3 full games with Brissett. Like, there were 2 games where he was really good with Jacoby, a couple games where we were just sort of like, Yeah. So I don't know. This is interesting. Like, just what happens, like, does Harrison play a full complement of snaps? Does Brissett try to target him more? Or has Wilson done enough now to establish himself? Or is Wilson basically just another version of Kendrick Bourne? Like, for a while there, he was the guy because he's literally the only guy in town. But once Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall and George Kittle got back, it was just like, Kendrick who?
Yeah,
right? I mean, seriously.
I think the main thing is that there's a lot of turkey to go around. Like, someone called Xavier Weaver got 3 targets last week for the Cardinals, right? Greg Dortch got 9 targets. Like, we can sift out a little bit. Wilson's 15 can go down to 11. You sift it around. Like, there's going to be enough, I think, for all these guys to eat.
But if you just did it as a math problem, he's going to throw for what, 250 yards? You still got Trey McBride also.
Sure.
So whoever is the number one, if it's Wilson or MHJ, is going to end up
I think they're going to be around the same. I think they're going to be around 60 receiving yards.
It's worth noting that no team over the last 4 weeks has allowed more passing yards per game to opposing wide receivers than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it is a great matchup here. It's just so interesting to see how it plays out here. So Johnny Dangerly, 698, says, I'm just so reluctant to start Sutton. I'm tempted to start both MHJ and Michael Wilson over Sutton. Guys, I
wouldn't do it, Johnny.
I wouldn't either, Johnny Dangerly. Listen, I know you want to live dangerly, and I get it.
Not this matchup.
I'm going Wilson and Sutton here.
Yeah.
I want it. Harrison's been so inconsistent this year, and we don't know, like, did he just, like, he had like a kidney removed or something? Like, it's something.
Appendicitis.
Appendicitis. Like, he had, that's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
I think what's interesting, too, was Marvin Harrison has played with Jacoby Brissett this year, right? And like you said, it was good games, but it wasn't what Michael Wilson had the best 2 games of his career, especially that first one when he went for 185. Like, then to come back and go for another 100 yards, like, you'd had to come up the pecking order some.
Michael Wilson had the best game of, like, anyone's career. Like, I mean, like, he's
Yeah, was that the most? Was that 185 the most receiving yards this season by a receiver?
Yeah, just about. Well, it's more than Jackson Smith and Jigba this year.
Because Jackson Smith and Jigba, like,
he had 167.
Yeah,
he got to 185.
Jackson Smith and Jigba just have a lot more games like that.
Yeah. By the way, Matthews, you've tried to retire Matthew Stafford. You tried to retire Travis Kelce last year. Now you're trying to remove Marvin Harrison's kidneys.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the kidneys is tough.
I'll tell you
get my kidney removed. I'm gonna come back play 2 weeks later.
I'll tell you exactly what's next, and I'd planned to save this for the end of the show, but I'll do it now.
The grand reveal.
I just want to take a moment here on behalf of all of us at Fantasy Football Pregame to thank Jay Croucher for all of his contributions to the show. It's been a great run, Jay Croucher. We will miss you.
Finally got him.
We will miss you. We will see you on Premier League, and
Jump across,
doing the DraftKings segments on cornhole,
Sure.
on the USA Bar Games.
Great sport.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, it's been a great run, and thanks.
Yeah, and also Jay, you have to leave one of your kidneys.
Yeah, so anyway, just our thanks on a great career to Jay Croucher as he hangs them up.
It's a good run.
Yeah, exactly. Hangs up the betting slips for one last time.
Hang up the slips, the cleats.
Yeah,
the betting cleats.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That's
Chubby
the next
daddy.
one.
Chubby laid off.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, it all comes to an end.
Yeah, it's the next one. Yeah, hanging up the green card. I got it. Everything.
The green card.
Yeah, exactly.
Ship them back to Australia.
Yeah, just exactly. So anyway, you're the next one I'm trying to retire. Yeah, that's the answer there. All right, I don't know where we are, George. Host the show.
How about we go Jags and Titans? There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Smooth segue by producer Steven here. The 7-4 Jaguars somehow keep getting away with this. They're 5.5-point favorites.
Should retire.
Yeah, I mean, and they should win this week to get to. Who would have thought they'd be 8-4 with what we've seen out of the Jags to this point, over under 42.5. So, Lawrence, how are you ranking the Jags wide receivers with BTJ back in the lineup?
Well, just like any normal fantasy football playing American would, BTJ, Jacoby Myers, and then Parker Washington in that order. Now, do we know that Trevor Lawrence could keep 3 receivers fantasy relevant? Actually, we might do. I don't think he can. But, Jacoby Myers, touchdown dependent. BTJ is the guy you're going to start with no question here.
Yeah, I'm nervous about this. So, I'm playing backup producer Pete this week, and it's
like a rivalry week,
dude.
Blockbuster.
Yes, exactly. And
Panthers Saints.
It really is. It really is. It's an
NFC South type of showdown.
It's 6-6 versus 5-7. Neither team with a winning record.
I'm amazed we're not on Thursday night. And so I had to tell you. But it's so desperate. It's, my team is just so beat up. I've been putting it together with literally like Scotch tape and Band-Aids, smoke and mirrors. I've been riding Michael Wilson, but now
hottest team in America, though.
I've been riding Parker Washington, but now that BTJ is back as well. So it's been tough. We'll see if I can get anything out of Courtland Sutton tonight. But Parker Washington, in games in which Brian Thomas Jr. has been active this year, just a 15% target share, averages under 9 fantasy points per game. I still hold out a little bit of hope just because I think he's emerged a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And BTJ has been inconsistent. So I'm at wide receiver 33 again after 8 teams have played their game. So he's kind of a desperation flex. But I think Lawrence has the correct ranking there, which is BTJ, Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, in that order if you're starting a Jaguars pass catcher. Brenton Strange, don't forget, Brenton Strange is back as well. He's been in the mix.
Titans upset alert.
Yeah? No,
you think so?
Oh, Cam Ward has looked much better.
He played good versus Seattle, too.
Yeah, and let's see if they can get Alec Ayamaner back as well.
That's big.
The difference
That's
maker.
big.
The difference maker. Yeah, exactly.
PPR pick 2, BTJ, Sutton, Vidal.
I'm going with the last 2 there. Again, Brian Thomas Jr., we haven't seen it. It's just been very inconsistent. What does it look like in a lineup with Jacoby Myers, with Brenton Strange, with with Parker Washington in a game in which, they're favored by 5.5. Is this just a big Travis Etienne game? Travis Etienne made my love list. So I do think they're not going to have to throw that much. That's the other thing here. That's the concern. And Liam Cohen, it seems like Liam Cohen is like, no, you have to throw.
I'm about to say, if they do have to throw, that's in the favor of the Titans.
Yeah,
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah.
But the running game has been working for the Jaguars between the two backs.
So my answer to the question that was up on the screen is just Brian Thomas Jr. is who I'm benching. I think it was Sutton and Vidal.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so those were the two.
You got to see it with BTJ first.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here we go. Strange sauna show. I like it. Backup producer Pete wins.
Right on Matthew's alley.
Can we call Barry backup co-host Matthew Barry?
Listen, not only can you call
everything's
it,
on the table.
Not only can you call me that, I'll be happy to be that. I'll be happy. Call me when you need me. Listen, Connor, Jay, and Lawrence, you guys hold on the show. I'm gonna head to Florida. You guys just call me, and I'll zoom in every once in a while.
If Jay is out, how can you be the backup?
Shit.
Yeah, we down to Max Brosmer here.
Yeah.
We down to Max Brosmer.
Roto Pat, where you at?
Denny, bring in the doctor.
Calling for the righty. Let's go.
Tag him in.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
I want you to tweet the show, #FF Pregame. Questions. We're getting through the chat with the regulars on YouTube as well. Our next game.
Hadn't thought that one through, Lawrence. It's good. Yeah, I got it.
Clearly.
Damn it.
Yeah. Might have to stay.
This line has gone down just a field goal for the next game. The Texans 6-5 on the road, 8-3 Colts. Colts reeling recently, over under 44.5. Confidence level in a dinged up Daniel Jones against an elite Houston defense, Jay.
Yeah, I'm worried, George. I'm worried about my Colts. Be worried about a fully mobile, unbroken leg Daniel Jones against the Texans defense, frankly.
I like hearing a fibula injury.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So he has a crack in his fibula. It's not like his leg is snapped in half, right? He was still able to play.
It's just a little crack.
Yeah, he was still able to play quarterback in Kansas City last week and have like a 13-yard scramble and stuff. So, look, I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's less about the injury and more about the opposing defense, though. The Texans have arguably the best defense in football. Yep. I would say that if you have a break in your leg, they are the last team that you want to play, if any team in the NFL. And the issue, too, is that even before the broken leg, it was kind of trending bad for Jones anyway. Like the Steelers game, the Falcons game, the Chiefs game, obviously, with the injury wasn't great either. So Danny Dimes, I think that he's a fringe start because he's still in a great offense at home where the Colts offense has been much better. But hopefully you've either started someone already better than Jones or you have a better option today.
I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence here on this one, the Traveler. My name is not
Poon. My name is not Poon.
You skipped the P.
My name is not Poon?
My name is
no to Poon?
No. My name is not Poon.
I'm going to spend some time on my phone.
Yeah.
My name is not
rightfully so there. I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. My concern on Daniel Jones is that you mentioned the defense, Jay. Like since week 3, there have been 2 quarterbacks, literally only 2 quarterbacks that have even scored 14 fantasy points against the Texans. They're giving up passing touchdowns at the second lowest rate. They're generating pressure at the second highest rate. I mean, they got to Josh Allen the last time we saw him. They got to Josh Allen, who is a much more mobile than Daniel Jones
with
these
no
days.
Fractured fibulas.
Yeah, no, exactly. A healthy Josh Allen, what was it, 8 times he got sacked? So this one makes me nervous.
Worried.
I think this is a huge game for both teams. Might be the most interesting game in the 1 o'clock window, I think. And so this game is really big. Houston I think the Colts, if they're smart, because what didn't happen last week, they sort of abandoned the run.
I need 25 carries from Jonathan Taylor.
Exactly right.
I don't care if they go for 3 yards.
I
literally just said I think Jonathan Taylor
one.
touches the ball 30 times today.
They're hoping he breaks one. Dalvin Cook was able to find a Cris last week, even though it was a tough defense. That's what they're going to be hoping today for the Colts offense, and they got to have it.
Was that like on an old, when Dalvin Cook found a Cris, was that on an old?
Oh, my God, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's little brother.
James?
Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy. He was Jimmy Cook. James Cook was able to break away.
Is this like, is he playing an old Madden? He's getting home with the kids?
It's because I still got faith in Dalvin Cook. That's why. That's what that is.
He'll show up on the Ravens soon.
My favorite fact about them, though, but his actual name is James Dalvin Cook.
Yes. Yeah.
And Dalvin Cook's actual name is Dalvin James Cook. Their middle names are each other's.
Really?
I don't
Yes.
like that. I don't like
Yeah. So they're obviously they're brothers.
very
Dalvin's the
silly.
older one, and they share each other's first names as their last names. It's a whole thing going on in the Cook family.
Unbelievable.
Note, Colts undefeated at home this year. They're 6-0.
Very good home
They've
team.
been phenomenal at home, protecting the shoe in Indy.
Just lean on JT, Shane. If you're listening, I understand that Kansas City loaded the box and you wanted to go away and play what was in front of you.
It's gotta be
Jonathan Taylor's not normal. He can run into loaded boxes and still break 50-yarders.
You're saying that's the most interesting game at the 1 o'clock window. I would say weather-wise, the most interesting game is our next matchup with the blizzard that is ripping through Cleveland. This over-under is 35.5. It is plummeted because of the 35 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts, and the 49ers are favored by 5.5 in Cleveland. So can you start anyone other than CMC, Matthew, given the weather conditions in Cleveland?
I think you still probably have to start Kittle. The thing about the rain and snow doesn't really bother me. The wind isn't great. Obviously, the wind is not ideal, but it's a good defense. But in essence, a lot of times, bad weather will favor the offense because you've got footing that is slippery, and the offense obviously knows where you're going, whereas the defense doesn't. So where you can take an angle, and then you've got defenses chasing, and they're trying to turn in the same mush or crappy weather, and they'll miss it. So sometimes actually you can sort of see these long plays in bad weather as well. So it'd be tough for me to bench Kittle in this one, but yeah, I mean, I want no part of Purdy. I want no part of the Cleveland offense unless you maybe. I guess maybe you try to get away with Quinshon Judkins.
I think you can get away with
I will go
Judkins.
Quinshon Judkins.
But the two running backs, maybe Kittle, but I want no part of Purdy.
Maybe Fannin.
I guess
Maybe
right. I mean, Shador he'll keep it short. Yeah, but this is looking like an ugly one. It's worth noting that with Judkins, you're hoping he gets in the end zone because he's not involved in the passing game at all.
No. He's also, I don't think he's been above 3.5 yards per carry in like 6 weeks, which seems impossible because I think he's really good. It's just that he has no room to operate. Now, they've played some tough run defenses in that time. The Niners, since they lost all their players on defense, have not been a great per-play run defense. But, yeah, I think with the conditions, I feel okay starting Judkins. But, yeah, I'm very concerned for the Niners passing game because Brock Purdy, even in perfect conditions, doesn't have the greatest arm strength.
The 49ers.
Purdy has traditionally been bad in bad weather.
Also,
in rain and that kind of stuff.
They went to Buffalo last year, late in the season. It was snowing.
Yep.
They got beat down 35-10. CMC and Jordan Mason was okay running the ball, but the passing game wasn't there.
Here's a question for you though.
Yeah.
So I'm in a guillotine league. I'm in a bunch of different guillotine leagues, and we're down to like the final 5 at this point, right? So it's like every team's a super team, and so I have a choice in two of my different guillotine leagues: Kittle or Tyler Warren against the Texans. Now, it sounds Tyler Warren is good to go. He showed up on the injury report yesterday. It was, an illness, but all the reports are he's good to go. He's active. He's going to play against the Texans today. But it's the Texans.
Yeah.
What would you do in a guillotine league where you got no room for error?
Yeah. I think I would go Warren because it's at home in a dome. I get that the Texans' defense is great, but I don't think the Texans' offense is great, so I think that the Colts will possess the ball a reasonable amount. And I just worry, like guillotine, like there's a chance that Brock Purdy's like 117 pass yards.
That's right.
And Kittle is like 3 for 18. Like that is in play. I feel like Tyler Warren can at least get like 4 for 45 type of thing.
Yeah.
And the implied game total, 9-point difference between those two. So
Good
if you're going to
point.
default, you got to default to what's going to be
point.
the higher scoring game. And you would think Colts-Texans has more probability to be 24-21 versus 49ers-Browns could easily be 13-10 or 16-13.
Agreed.
All right, let's keep it rolling here on Fantasy Football Pregame. These are the predictions that we feel real confident in. Shot for shot time, Matthew. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jacoby Brissett finishes as a top 10 fantasy quarterback today. He's averaging over 43 pass attempts per game. Buccaneers 27th against the pass so far this season, so he gets Marvin Harrison Jr. back. He still has Wilson and McBride. Jacoby Brissett, top 10 fantasy quarterback today. Ride, Jacoby, ride.
Okay. Bo Nix, George's favorite quarterback. He goes over 229.5 pass yards. The reason why? Plays your Commanders.
Yeah, we're bad.
They have perhaps the worst secondary in the NFL.
Yeah, we're not good.
Bo Nix, when he's not under pressure, he can still throw it deep, and I think he'll get enough deep balls connected to go over 229.5.
I'm starting him today in the League of Assholes. Go, Bo, go.
It's a great decision, George.
I'm doing it again. I'm picking the Cleveland Browns to win. Doesn't sound as crazy as last week, does it, fellas? Look, Browns had the most generated points from their offense last week finally. It's a little more solid at the quarterback position, but the defense in the weather is what's going to play to the Browns' favor. And I think they upset the 49ers at home. They've been giving quarterbacks hell, and that includes Lamar Jackson. We saw Brock Purdy last week throwing to the other team. I think Myles Garrett and those young defenders give them hell. Browns win again, plus 205.
I can feel it, Lawrence. The dogs are barking. I'm not as bold as you, though. I'm going to take the Browns plus 5.5. I think they can keep this close, 17-13. I do think if you want to sprinkle a little money line, like Lawrence is saying, given the elements, elite Browns defense, they can pick off another upset home victory. So I'm on board with where Lawrence head is at.
I like it. By the way, just as you were talking about Fannin, just so for whatever it's worth about that Cleveland game, I'm starting Zach Ertz over Harold Fannin. Zach Ertz against the Broncos I prefer than Harold Fannin against the Niners.
Do that.
There you go. So that's a decision I'm making in our league against backup producer Pete. We will see if it makes a difference. All right, last one here. Or not my last one, but my second shot. TreVeyon Henderson on Monday night finishes as the top 12 fantasy running back for the week. 5 of the 6 running backs to see at least 17 touches against the Giants this year have scored at least 25 fantasy points. TreVeyon Henderson, I think, gets that kind of workload in a great matchup. The talent is there. I'm not worried about Ramondre. TreVeyon Henderson, top 12 fantasy finish this week.
Okay, sticking with rookie running backs, I'm going to say Quinshon Judkins has more rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey today. They're set at basically identical numbers, and I think that just the Niners' run defense is a lot less imposing than the Browns' run defense, which has been statistically the best in the league. So Quinshon Judkins, more rushing yards than CMC.
Guys, I'm really impressed with your newfound faith in these Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I love it. Big Browns guy. Add him to my teams.
I'm going to go to a little bit better of a team, a little bit better of a running back. James, and not Dalvin Cook. James Cook will go for at least 110 scrimmage yards. That's at plus 120. Look, he's done this in 4 out of his last 5 games, including that tough Houston Texans defense, including versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And you might say, oh, well, Lawrence, without that 45-yard touchdown run versus Houston, well, that's what James Cook does, and I expect him to do it against these Steelers because the Bills need him going.
Riding with the running backs, this part of our shot for shot. I'm going with the B side. Bashal Tutin, his over-under for rushing yards, 27.5, has gone over this 2 of the last 4 weeks. I'm not in the same space as Lawrence. I think the Jags will win. Positive second half game script. I think you should be able to clip this against the Titans.
Just an alert, upset alert. I wouldn't pick, no, I'm not picking them, definitely. Yeah.
All right. The Steelers, we talked up Kenneth Gainwell earlier, but ultimately Jaylen Warren is still their lead running back. And I say Jaylen Warren gets at least 15 fantasy points today. Steelers like to run the ball. Obviously, Buffalo is allowing the 3rd most rush yards per game to opposing running backs as well. So Aaron Rodgers off of the hand injury. I think they go run heavy here. I think they start with Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren at least 15 fantasy points against the Bills today.
Okay, much talked about on this show already, but I'm going to go Michael Wilson, over 57.5 receiving yards. I have a little rule. If you have 1 million receiving yards in back-to-back games, you should be set higher than 57.5 in the next game. I think that the Bucs' pass funnel defense, I think there is more than enough yardage to go around for Michael Wilson to get 58 yards today.
All right. I dig it. I'm going to show quarterbacks some love here. Matthew, you had Jacoby Brissett as top 10. I'm going to have Bo Nix finishing as a top 5 fantasy quarterback. versus your Commanders here. Now, he hasn't finished as a top 12 quarterback in his last 3 games, but Washington allows the 4th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks, and they've allowed at least 28 points in 4 of their last 5 games, the Washington Commanders have. So I expect Bo not only to play good at the end of the game like he usually does, but throughout this whole game. Top 5 fantasy finish for old Bo Nix.
Old Bo.
I like it.
Good old Bo.
I've converted
Bo.
Bo believers here.
Good old Bo.
Half the dais is now on board with Bo. My final shot-for-shot pick. The Giants 2-10, but what they've done their last 4 road games, they're 3-1 against the spread. So if you can get the hook 7.5, I think they're going to cover against the Patriots. They have been, especially on the road, they've given some good teams scares. And I think with Jackson Dart back under center, they can keep this within a touchdown.
Wow, big Giants guy, George Savaricas.
I'm on board.
Jackson Dart toast. Giants cover +7.5.
He'll be picking them to win the division next year. Not you.
I want half of that 80-1 ticket. Michael Wilson, his season high in receiving yards coming into the last couple weeks, 61. Then he spouts off for 185 and 118. He has had 25 receptions the last 2 weeks. Can he keep it going? If MHJ is back, that's the big question for Week 13 and the Cardinals. We're going to take a look at the injury updates on the other side of the short break. Marvin Harrison Jr. getting ready for his return, missing the last couple games. It was an emergency appendectomy, Matthew. AZ Cardinals.
Is there any other kind, candidly?
Not often pre-planned.
Yeah.
Usually it's an emergency type situation. So the notable injury updates that we've been tracking, everyone to go. So for the later slate of games, Dalton Kincaid the one who seems like he is trending in the wrong direction. But you look at that list, and usage-wise, I'm curious with the Cardinals' backfield. Last week, I think Bam Knight had 10 carries for 12 yards. Michael Carter had 28 yards. It was a putrid performance. From
Once again, massive congratulations to Alec Aomanor for just making the graphic. He's active. He's active. Be sure to look for him in your local waiver section to note that he is, anyway.
First time comment.
Number one chief. I like it.
Spells number the same way you do.
I did, 1,000%.
Pick 2, full PPR, Dowdle, Judkins, Booty. Thanks, guys. Love the show.
Yeah, you're rightfully so. I think it's the running backs here. Look, I get the idea of Kayshon Boutte. Backup producer Pete, by the way, picked up Boutte to try to use him against me. The thing of the matter is that Matt Collins has actually been pretty good. Yeah. Very quietly, and so, and they like Travion Henderson. They've got a lot of weapons there. You got Diggs and Pop Douglas, Jay, who I know you like. So, to me, I just feel better about the workload of the running backs there. Yeah. Kayshon Boutte, you're basically hoping he gets deep for one, which he certainly could. But makes me a little bit nervous there.
I dropped Boutte. I think he went 2 for 15 last week. So it's such an unpredictable offense.
When you can't make Georgia's team, and be honest with you, if you look at the records, my team is terrible. I just want to point this out. I want to take a moment here. My team is not good. We've had a lot of fun over the course of the year about how bad my team is. But whose team my team is better? My crappy team is?
No, we're tied.
That guy.
We're each 5 and 7.
I'm just saying, but I was 0 and 7, dude.
I'd win the tiebreaker.
I'm just saying, I was 0 and 7,
sure.
George, and now I'm tied with you.
Your team is not terrible. It's just not good. It's not the best.
Yeah, particularly before you drop down.
There's teams eliminated already. Those teams are terrible.
This is true. I still have a pulse.
Who's eliminated? Like, I know Adam is eliminated.
I think Denny is as well.
Denny.
But that attitude, like on my first date with my wife, I said to her, look, I promise you, not the worst, not the best, not good. But not the worst, not terrible.
That's all you need.
So I promised her.
Yeah.
I just promised. I said, look.
5 for 500.
Exactly. I promised.
And you haven't been eliminated
No,
yet.
just exactly.
Have not been eliminated.
You're
still in the playoffs.
You're
still in the hunt.
If you're looking for a grinder, in the hunt. Do something like that. Just somebody who's trying to eke out some wins down the stretch. I'm your guy. There you go.
Let's help our pal here, one of the regulars, Calzone Dynasty, flex in full PPR, Parker Washington, Theo Johnson, or Rondé Gadsden Jr.?
I think it's got to be guys. Look, Theo Johnson has come on lately. We talked about Parker Washington a little bit early in the show. It's a little nervous given the return of Brenton Strange from last week. BTJ is healthy. Obviously, Jacoby Myers now more involved in that offense. I just think the Chargers were so embarrassing the last time we saw them when they got their ass kicked by the Jaguars. Just knowing how intense Jim Harbaugh is and off of the bye, and this is a big game. Like, they need to keep pace in the AFC.
Yeah. If they lose this, their season's done. You can't lose to the Raiders.
No.
You can't do it. By the way, I like
that. So I just think Rondé Gadsden.
I like that Rondé Gadsden is O. Xavier Legette is X. There's only 24 letters left in the alphabet. And
they got him.
Two fairly unremarkable players in the scheme of things have already spoken for 2 of the 26 letters.
You're squatting on J.
Yeah, I got J.
Okay. Yeah. What about for W? Is it Tyler Warren or Jalen Waddle?
Oh, it's Wan'Dale Robinson.
Or Wan'Dale Robinson. Ooh.
Yeah.
You go first name priority over last name.
Yeah, probably.
We got a
probably Wan'Dale.
We got one of the regulars chiming in on the chat, calling Matthew
Wandy Rodriguez. The great Wandy Rodriguez.
Who could forget?
Astros legend Wandy Rodriguez.
He plays for your team, Lawrence, by the way.
The Astros.
Yeah, the Astros.
Well, that's good to know.
He's a pitcher.
Yep.
FYI.
The chat calling you the Grindler.
I am the Grindler. Yeah, you have no idea.
Be careful
there. We're towing the line there. Jonathan Medici, we hear a lot from him. Flex, what is that, 1.5 point PPR?
Yeah, half-point PPR.
No, Flex 1, half-point PPR.
Yeah, I feel better about Harvey than I do these other two guys, Wilson and BTJ. It's close to me between Harvey and Wilson. I just think the matchup against my Commanders are good. I also think that out of the bye, again, Denver's off the bye, I just think rookies out of the bye tend to be better. That like they've realized J.K. Dobbins is lost for the year, and that whatever Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyler Beatty and all these guys, they're fine, but they're going to go somewhere. They need R.J. Harvey to have a bigger piece of this offense, and so that's my expectation. A little nervous about Wilson, obviously.
Yeah. George's universe was nearly tipped upside down by this 1.5 PPR.
Oh, they do that?
Oh my goodness, Medici. What the hell are they doing over there?
He's playing chess. We're playing checkers. 1.5 points. Good catch there. Yeah, that threw me for quite the loop.
Oh, goodness.
All right, let's keep the train on the tracks here. Top running back waiver ads. What do we think of Cris Rodriguez back in the fold for the Commanders?
Look, he had a season high in touches and snap rate in Week 11, and I think he leads the backfield again. The problem is that it's not entirely his. You're still going to see a little bit of Bill Krosky merit. I think they're 5.5-point underdogs, so you probably see Jeremy McNichols when they're in passing tag. I don't want a part of honestly, the only Commander that I would really consider starting this week is
That's it.
Oh.
Potentially Debo and Zach Ertz. Yeah. Terry McLaurin is back, but I suspect...
Not touching Terry?
Well, he's probably going to get shadowed by Pat Surtain, and it's his first game back, and he actually hasn't had this great connection with Mariota. Like, they've had moments, but I don't know.
Would definitely go Debo over Terry McLaurin.
Debo's numbers weirdly are better with McLaurin in the lineup, just again, less defensive attention than when he's been sort of the guy. Debo's been inconsistent, too. The Commanders will score some points. I don't have a great sense of how.
Yeah.
I don't. So old Maverick guy 8996 asks for Darnell Mooney, Parker Washington, or Tajay Spears. Thanks. PPR.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mooney.
I think you're right, Lawrence.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver 1 for an NFL team.
Yeah.
That's right. Your lack of enthusiasm is also correct. Yeah, just kind of
see it.
But his biggest games on the Falcons have been with Kirk Cousins under center. They've had a bit of rapport. You're holding your nose a little bit, but
a lot of it was last year, but
for sure.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, but he's right. He's the number 1 option on an NFL offense versus Washington's probably like the number 5, number 4
3
or 5.
at best.
Three
right? At best.
Yeah, I'm just saying ETN out of the backfield might get more looks than him as well. And then, Spears again, like he's splitting time with Pollard. They're playing the Jaguars. Jaguars are kind of Jekyll and Hyde, but they have occasionally played good run defense this year. They've also occasionally been brutal, but I don't know, just Tajay.
They're like the Jaguars are like the lighting episode in Seinfeld. Good or bad lighting, and they look like two polar opposite teams.
Yep. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Jaden Higgins has finished. Jaden Higgins has finished as a top 36 wide receiver for the past 5 weeks. He had a 32% target share last week. Even if you don't use him, he needs to be on benches as well. We've talked about DK quite a bit. At least a 90% route participation in each of his 3 last healthy games. Even though Alec Iomanner is out there, DK, I believe, is the wide receiver you want for the Titans, and of course the human Dortch. Bucks are bottom 10 in the NFL in receptions allowed per game to the slot. So it feels like we have a sense now it's going to be obviously McBride at tight end, Harrison and Michael Wilson on the outside, and Greg Dortch, the human Dortch, in the slot.
How about DK graduating from a desperation play by you a week ago?
Last week, really good.
To now he's off that list and he's a 50% guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's been productive. Like, he's been one of the few bright spots of Tennessee's season so far this year.
Which was a good call by you.
Thank you.
He had a nice week last week.
And he returned a kick,
by the way,
too.
and I agree with you. It was a good call by me. Yeah, here. Well done, Barry. Yes. Good
every
job,
once in a while.
Yes, every once in a while.
Kyle Morrison, 41.58. Pick one, full-point PPR. Mechie, Charbonnet, Tajay Spears, a win. And I clinch a first-round playoff bye.
Well, congratulations on being in that position.
It's that time of year, week 13 and 14, big weeks in fantasy. Set yourself up for the postseason.
I'm tempted by Mechie just because he weirdly has become the Jets' number 1 wide receiver. He's been productive the last 2 weeks. I don't know that you're necessarily scared by this matchup at home against Atlanta, but if there is a strength to the Falcons, it is their secondary, right? And you are still counting on Tyrod Taylor on the to be able to get the ball to Mechie. And so even though I just talked him down, I'm actually going Tajay Spears.
Okay. I would actually go Mechie.
Interesting. Okay.
Listen, Kyle, they're all bad options.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Charbonnet's got it. Like again, they're double-digit favorites. Charbonnet's got a chance. Charbonnet's got the best chance of a touchdown of all those guys.
Yeah, they're 11.5-point favorites. They don't. Kenneth Walker's getting more work, but they're never going to give him 20 carries because he'll break. And there is a chance that. Like, this could be a 30-point blowout against Max Brosmer, the Seattle defense, and Charbonnet's just in scoring position. It feels like a Charbonnet game where he's like 12 for 42 and a touchdown.
Yeah, that touchdown going to be the difference with everything.
Yeah.
He gets all their carries inside the 5 in that Seahawks offense.
Kyle, we've all talked about it. We think Charbonnet. I actually think they're all about right, which is why you're asking the question, too. I don't know that.
It's a great question, Kyle.
Yeah. There you go.
How are those?
Don't have a great answer for you, but it's Charbonnet.
How are those his options? And he's going to sew up a first-round bye.
He's probably in a deep league.
He's probably like me. He's got superstars at the top and then has to piece it together at the bottom.
I'm trying to get a first-round bye in our league, and I'm starting Devin Singletary. So, and I'm sweating about that. So,
rightfully so.
Rightfully what a story with Lawrence having Michael Penix and Bryce Young.
And now Shedeur. I'm starting Shedeur today.
It's a running back league.
That's what will happen when you've got Jonathan Taylor and James Cook. And who's your third running back?
Jameer.
And Jameer Gibbs. Yeah, exactly. He's just.
I can only thank you guys for letting me somehow end up with those 3.
C.J. Stroud cracks the top 10 in his return because 8 quarterbacks have already played Thursday, Friday, Matthew.
He's had at least 18 fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 completed games. Stroud is better. By the way, I think his return helps Woody Marks a little bit as well. How about Tyrod Taylor playing Atlanta? He's been okay. Tyrod Taylor is if you're desperate. Since week 6, Dalton Schultz has been a top 10 fantasy tight end. Stroud coming back, I think, helps him as well. And then we've talked about Brenton Strange quite a bit. 3 of the 5 full games that Brenton Strange has played this year, he's actually led the Jags in receiving yards. So those are some desperation plays that are available. Those not desperation plays. Those are guys you can pick up and stream this week. They're all available in over 50% of leagues.
You'll learn a lot about C.J. Stroud today. This is a huge game for Stroud. All the focus is on Jones. Like C.J. Stroud has his fibulas intact. And he is going up against a team that is wounded, coming off a loss. And Stroud
has potentially the best secondary in the NFL.
Yep, but not a great pass rush.
Yep.
So Stroud and Davis Mills was fine.
They went on the winning streak with Davis Mills.
Yeah.
It wasn't with they were under 500. With
Quarterback controversy if C.J. Stroud loses this. We'll see.
From Jack, pick a tight end and a flex. Gadsden, Strange, Waller, and Taysom Hill. I need a Hail Mary, so I'm thinking Waller and Hill.
I understand what you're thinking, and those are both Hail Mary type players. I think Gadsden and Strange are the people we feel best about in terms of floor, right?
Yes.
Definitely Gadsden. We've talked about him a little bit in terms of I think this Chargers offense is going to look good coming out of the bye. We've talked about Brenton Strange. Darren Waller off the bye. I know he had the 170-yard game or whatever. Darren Waller is basically a touchdown-dependent tight end, aren't they all? As is Taysom Hill. He qualifies as a tight end, but they are going to use him in the red zone as a running back. Him and Devin Neal. Yeah. So I get the argument that those 2 guys might have the better chance at a touchdown, but I feel best about the floor and potential upside of Gadsden and Strange. Gadsden could be 7 for 80 and a touchdown.
Gadsden, if you want ceiling and a Hail Mary, Gadsden has a game where he had like 160 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Like the guy's a wide receiver, basically.
That's right.
What he can do yards after the catch. Like if you need one of those guys to go 100 yards and a touchdown, like Gadsden is the most likely to do that, and that's not close.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's not the Taysom Hill of 3-4 years ago.
No.
I know Alvin Kamara's
not getting
out,
as many touches.
but he's getting nowhere near as many touches as he was when he was the flyer who could go off for 25 points any given week. So now we have our desperation plays, Matthew. Why don't you bat lead off?
And mine is John Mechie, the aforementioned John Mechie. Look, he's had a touchdown in back-to-back games, 26% target share in week number 12. They're playing the Falcons, where the Falcons are only 3-point favorites here. The game's in New York, or at MetLife, I should say. And so Mechie, who's randomly become sort of the number 1 target of this Tyrod Taylor-led Jets offense, I do think you could do worse than John Mechie.
Also think you could do worse than Pop Douglas. You're just basically spinning the wheel every week with Patriots wide receivers who will step up between Douglas, Butte, Stephon Diggs. So it's a desperation play. why not bet on the fact that it could be Pop Douglas against the Giants secondary that certainly can be thrown on?
For me, I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson. Last week's season high, 9 touches, turned that into 82 yards and the touchdown. I think the Browns play bully ball here. They can't give Quinshon Judkins every single touch, so to keep running that ball, they're going to need to see more Sampson, their more explosive back.
And for me, Ollie Gordon has gone double-digit fantasy points and 9+ carries 2 of his last 4 games. I think it could be a blowout win against the Saints. Positive game script in the second half. Dolphins have won 3 of their last 4. Just flew out the Bills at home as well. Proper shot time. These are all markets that you can follow on DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew, you want to start the way, or?
Sure. Be happy. Oh, we're doing this? Yeah, got it. Okay.
This point of the show.
Sorry.
Grab the football.
You know what? What's interesting
You're so in the zone.
Give me
in fairness to me, this is my first time doing the show. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Matthew.
Oh, that was bad.
Matthew hit his ball between the Ohio State and the Indiana helmet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
There you go. Getting ready for
Big Ten
next
championship
weekend.
is going to be awesome.
Oh, goodness.
Good Lord, Lawrence. That was terrible.
I didn't knock
another
nobody's
bobblehead.
head off this time, though.
Almost killed
Dude.
Giants Saquon
That was
Barkley.
a bad display.
How are we so bad at this every week? It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, you're 25% of the problem. So.
I know, but my answer as to why I'm so bad this week is I'm not good at this.
Well, neither. I'm from Australia.
Well, at least almost. at least we got it somewhere. At least it hit the rim. You know, for the love of God, no air balls like Lawrence.
We'll start the segment. Puka Nacua, 89.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm going to go over here. Not afraid of the Panthers secondary at all. Their run defense has been improved after a rough start. Nakua, before he got hurt initially, was being set over 100.5 receiving yards. So I'm going to take the over on 89.5.
No J.C. Horn tonight either. Today.
Yes.
Lawrence Ashton Genty, rushing yards, 56.5.
Look, 2 straight games a running back has hit this against the Chargers, but Ashton Genty has only hit this once out of his last 5 games. The one time he did, it was 60 yards and it took him 19 carries to do it. Give me the under. I'm not sold on the Raiders' run game.
Combo number for Josh Allen, like we see most weeks, passing and rushing yards, 267.5, Matthew.
I'm going to take the over here. He's been over this number in 3 straight games, 6 of 11 on the season. After the last time we saw him, that embarrassing loss at Houston, I think Josh Allen says no more. Worth noting, quarterback has not gone over this number against Pittsburgh since week 9. This is a tough matchup, obviously. Their line is brutal. Pittsburgh gets after the quarterback, but I'm banking on Josh Allen to put the Superman cape on once again and get over 267.5 passing and rushing yards combined. Again, he's done it in 3 straight. He's not going to want, after last week, he needs some redemption.
Tough defensive matchup for your guy, Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, rushing and receiving yards, 106.5.
Yep, saddens me, George, saddens me, but I'm going to go the under. I think that he will get volume, but I'm not sure the efficiency is going to be there against the Texans defense. It strikes me as a 20 carries for 80 rushing yards type of game for JT. I'm not sure anyone should be set at 106.5 against the Houston defense.
We got to tee up Lawrence with the Shadur Sanders question, but we're gonna set the right line here. Over under a half a passing touchdown.
Damn.
Really tough, right? But I look at the fact that Isaiah Bond should have had a touchdown last week. If you say the one to Dylan Sampson don't count, Isaiah Bond tripped up with the goal line. I think they get close, give him one of them cheap ones that Dylan Gabriel used to get. So give me the over for a half a touchdown. Give me the over.
Dare to be bold, Lawrence. Dare to be bold.
Yeah, tough though.
Yeah.
That is a number right there.
There's a chance they have 1 touchdown.
Tell me you're down bad without telling me you're down bad.
That is a number there.
Of course, he's supporting his guy, who he's starting this week in the League of Assholes.
Well, I said last week it would take me, 4 beers to start him?
There
you go.
Jacoby Myers, Matthew, receptions, 3.5.
I'm going to go over here. Look, he's gone over this number each of the past 2 games. In fairness, no Brian Thomas Jr. in those games, but Titans allow the 6th most receptions per game to opposing wide receivers, and I actually think, Brian Thomas Jr., we don't know if he's 100% healthy. Give me the over on 3.5 receptions for Jacoby Myers in this one.
Baker Mayfield back after having to sit out the second half last week, and he looked like he was in serious pain. So passing yards, 228.5, Jay.
Going to go under here. Baker has gone under 4 of his past 5 games. I understand he left one of those games against the Rams, but he wasn't going to go over, even if he stayed healthy. Also, the injury risk here. You ride that with the under as well, the idea that he may leave the game at some point, so under for Baker.
I'm going to say it, America. This number is disgusting for Justin Jefferson. 56 and a half. That's where we're at with one of the truly elite wide receivers in the game. Over or under, Lawrence?
And it's went down, too. Look, this is the thing. I've had the Justin Jefferson question like the past 2 weeks. I keep taking under. It keeps hitting. But this week, I'm going to take the over here. I'm not saying Max Brosmer is better than J.J. McCarthy, but what I am saying is, unlike backup producer Pete, I have seen him play. He's going to be less mobile. He got a little bit of a quicker release, so I expect Justin Jefferson at least get a little bit better of opportunities. So, and they're going to be losing, so give me the over.
Can you imagine, George, if I told you end of August that a fully healthy Justin Jefferson was going to face Jackson Smith and Jigba, and JSN would be set 40 yards higher than him for receiving 40 yards.
It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
It's incredible.
And it's correct.
And right, I was going to say that's the thing, and I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like it's insane to think about, but like they're right.
Yeah.
Like we just the fact that we don't have any idea if the fact that there's a chance that Max Brosmer, an undrafted rookie quarterback, might be better than guy they gave up Sam Darnold for, J.J. McCarthy, first round pick.
He most likely will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Average outcome.
It's
And Daniel
unbelievable.
Jones, he was a Viking.
Yep.
Yeah.
To you, Matthew, Taysom Hill, rushing attempts, 7.5.
I'm going to go under this. I understand that he had a lot of rushing attempts last week as well, but he's had only 3 games with at least 10 rushing attempts since 2023. I'm 7.5 feels like a big number to me. I'm going to go under this for Taysom Hill. I do think they try to give Devin Hill a bigger workload here. I also don't think, by the way, they're going to need it because I think they'll be able to throw against Miami. So give me under 7.5 rushing attempts for Taysom Hill.
Final 3 Sunday Night Football matchup: Bucks and Broncos and Commanders. R.J. Harvey rushing and receiving yards, 78.5.
Going to go over here, Matthew. We know your team is not afraid of giving up explosive plays on the ground or through the air, so I think R.J. Harvey will have one long play, and that'll be enough to tip him over here.
Will Cortland Sutton have a long play? Longest reception, 21.5, Lawrence.
Jay just said it. Cortland Sutton has not done it his past 2 games, but he's done it in the 3 previous before that, and this is his calling card. Now you're going up against the Commanders team who has allowed a reception over this number in every game this season but 1 to a receiver. So I'm going to go over for Cortland Sutton here.
Only the real ones are seeking out this prop. Marcus Mariota completions, 17.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go under 17.5. He's been under this number in 3 of his 5 starts this season. 50% of the quarterbacks that faced Denver this year have gone under this number as well. It's a really good defense. Yes, they have McLaurin back. I'm going to go under. I think they try to go run heavy against Denver today. Give me under 17.5 completions for Marcus Mariota because he not only has to throw it, then they got to catch it. 2 challenges.
Takes 2 to tango there.
Takes 2 to tango.
Get this, guys.
Yes.
DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app, use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
The crown is yours.
Crown
is yours.
Oh, yours.
Ooh,
I was
aloha
wondering who it
Bricks,
might be.
who's top 10 in the regular power rankings.
Hey,
Barry
wow.
looking like J.J. McCarthy out there.
Wow.
Shots fired. Pew, pew.
That's outrageous.
Barry was in Cleveland weather.
It's fair. There you go, Ved. Thank you very much. That one sounds better.
That is back.
Yeah, that is back. Here you
And
go.
speaking of the Cleveland weather,
Yeah.
relatively benign weather conditions. No rain or snow in the forecast.
Might do a little ladder on
benign.
Shador.
Hey, Eric Branch, you left out the wind gusts at 35 to 40 miles an hour. So a wind game, but it's not a snow or rain game.
He says that wind gusts, however, I think 36 degrees
Yeah.
feels like 11. Hashtag 49ers. So still, I think you downgrade the passing attack in these games. Ideally, you're only starting the running backs. And Kittle, I guess you can get away with.
More to come in the show after this.
Well, it looks like Mariota's trending to play. Both you and him, both top picks from Oregon. Did you have a connection with him at Oregon?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He when he was at Oregon, I was back in elementary, grade school. Loved watching him play. He was one of the best quarterbacks of his time, of his generation, definitely of mine, getting to watch. So I knew of him, and that was really about when Oregon was put on the map for for a lot of us back on the other side of the country. Just a great player, one that a lot of us have admired watching over the course of time. We talk about all, this week when we get to play him, guys, Sam and City are out there running the zone read, and they don't quite do it justice like the guy like that. But it'll be fun to compete against him on Sunday.
Two former Ducks clash tonight in primetime. Broncos ride into D.C. to take on the Commanders, 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Bo Nix aging Mariota, though. His last year, 2014, Bo Nix was 14 years old, but he was saying, in grade school, I remember watching Marcus Mariota, but we'll see what those two quarterbacks have in store for Sunday Night Football if we get a competitive Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah, come on, Matthew. Give us a competitive game tonight.
I don't think we can. To be honest with you.
The line is 6.5, so it's not 15.
You know what? Here, if you want to point to a positive, it is this. First off, after being embarrassed, overseas, now they're coming off the bye. Dan Quinn has taken over calling the defensive plays. They're getting a little bit healthier. That's going to help. They're going to help. Like generally speaking, I tend to like defenses that are home on Sunday Night Football, especially coming off of a bye. Big primetime game, big audience. You get up for it, the crowd's into it and everything like that. This is kind of like last chance saloon for the Commanders. If anything's going to happen this season, I don't think it is, but internally they may think that the season's not over fully yet. They're certainly going to want to have pride against Denver. So I think there's an opportunity here. They get Terry McLaurin back, which also might just sort of help elevate the team. He's one of the captains and sort of an important voice in that locker room as well. So those are my arguments for why maybe we give it a game. I don't totally buy them, but yeah. I don't think the Commanders embarrass themselves. How about that?
I don't think so. Lose by 7.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'd assume they're driving you to drink, but who else is driving you to drink?
No, I'll tell you exactly who's driving me to drink. The Bills' offensive line. Do you understand?
The music.
Do you understand that Josh Allen is literally a generational player? He's a generational player.
He might be the most talented quarterback ever.
He might be the most talented quarterback ever. He's a proud Fantasy Life investor. There's no question about that. And no one can block for him. What happened to him last Thursday night is an embarrassment. It's awful. It's disgusting, honestly. And it was not a one-time thing. The entire offensive line's been bad all year long. It's not just the Bears' offensive line. It's everyone around Josh Allen.
Whoa. Don't bring the Bears into the Bills.
Because that line is whooping ass right now.
The Bears' offensive line is good. The Bills' offensive line, sorry. I misspoke. That's why they're driving me to drink. Glug, glug. I'm drunk.
The drunkler's back.
The drunkler's back because of the Bills' offensive line, you animals. Somebody get into a three-punt stance and, knock somebody off their skis.
Dawkins' face.
Oh, God.
Wow.
You've got a generational quarterback and you're pissing it away, Buffalo. Get Josh Allen some help, for the love of God.
The emotional.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, my who's driving me to drink game.
Tell me something I said that was incorrect.
You left parts out, but it's cool. I'm not going to leave any parts here with Bryce Young, who I wouldn't consider a generational talent, but he's only thrown for over 200 yards in 10 out of the 12 games this season, and now you got to go and play these Los Angeles Rams, who Jay said that's the only team he got confidence in, and I can't argue with that. Look, you see what they did to Baker Mayfield. You see what they did to Sam Darnold. Gentlemen, would you take any of those quarterbacks over Bryce Young? Yes, you would. So Bryce Young driving me to drink as I start him today in the League of Assholes.
Yep. Okay. I'm drinking for a friend of the show, a previous guest on our show, Vikings head coach, reigning coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell. And the reason why is you're screwed either way today, Kevin, unfortunately. Because either you're going to lose the game with Max Brosnan and go to 4-8, or even worse, Max Brosnan's going to look good And then what do you do?
Then you got a quarterback controversy.
It's lose-lose. So I'm drinking for Kevin O'Connell, who we love on this show.
Yeah.
We wish him success.
Yeah.
He's in big trouble today.
Yeah.
The chat saying
A very well-dressed Kevin O'Connell.
Always.
Oh, yeah. Or Man in Black.
the chat saying Matt Berry is the Mark Twain of fantasy football.
I'd push back against that hard.
I'm sticking with the Vikings.
I like it. Both of us from Connecticut. Mark Twain.
Wow.
Mark Twain lived here in Connecticut.
Often said in the same sentence. Yeah.
Aren't you from Texas?
But I live in Connecticut now.
That got me too, but I was gonna let it ride. Though.
Thank you, Lawrence.
I was gonna let it.
Lawrence is my buddy.
I was gonna let you live.
Me and Leonardo DiCaprio, both from America.
We both currently live in America.
I'm from Connecticut too, because I'm here right now.
There you go.
You know what the problem is, George? You know what my mistake was?
I've been waiting for you to tell me.
No one else watched. It's just between me and. What I should have done is I should have fired Jay at the end of the show. But now that Jay knows he's gone, he's letting it all hang out. He doesn't care. Exactly.
Yeah,
Jay's
guns
like,
a-blazing.
Jay's like, F it. He's got 0 Fs to give now. He
Me and
realizes-
Mark Twain are both from Connecticut.
He's putting the 2 Fs in fantasy football pregame.
You from Connecticut too?
Yeah.
He screwed
exactly.
me.
From
That was
Connecticut
dumb.
born.
That was a rookie mistake by me. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have waited until after the show.
A team that has screwed themselves.
Yes, sir.
The Vikings ran Sam Darnold out of town. A lot of Vikings fans all offseason were saying, oh, Darnold clearly can't handle big moments. J.J. McCarthy's the truth, the answer. We need this rookie quarterback, rookie contract, most importantly. Now you're stuck with a historically bad quarterback. And Sam Darnold, minus the Rams game, didn't look great, but he's balled out for most of the year. He's a fringe top 10 to top 12 quarterback. You had a 14-win team with the Vikings, and you get rid of your quarterback, and now look at you. You're last place in the NFC North.
Wow.
You have an undrafted rookie under center. I mean, it's dark times right now to be a Vikings fan for the near future based on the QB room that you have in Minnesota.
They might have a little Brock Purdy, Trey Lance situation going on.
Is that NBC's own John Tesh on the piano?
Yes, it is.
I
regular
believe
Dank.
so.
Yep.
Yeah. Good call, regular Dank. It's
Our
weird.
JT.
Round ball rock.
They said we will give you $1 billion for Round Ball Rock and another 20 cents if you do a theme for fantasy football pregame.
Yeah.
And John Tesh, listen, he's like,
How can
sure,
you say
I'm
no?
down.
Top fantasy performers from the 8 teams that have already played the 4 games. A.J. Brown in a
Massive
defeat
game.
pops off 35.2 fantasy points. Jameson
In a losing effort,
In a losing
thank you very
effort
much.
Hey,
to
go
my
hand in
Chicago
hand.
Bears.
Yeah.
And how about Amon-Ra going out with injury, and Jameson Williams has been on a tear for the Lions.
Well, yeah, once Amon-Ra went down, it was all Jamison Williams there. Nice to see Dontavian Wicks off the milk carton having a big game there. CeeDee Lamb showed up in a big way. But the Amon-Ra injury seems like it's not serious, but as somebody who has Amon-Ra in like a couple of guillotine leagues where we're down to like 4 or 5 teams, like that 0 is awful and brutal. And so,
hurt.
yeah, you may have to swing for upside here if you had somebody like Amon-Ra St. Brown who didn't have a particularly good game. And there were some other pedestrian games as well, right? Like the Chiefs running backs here. Like you hoped more for Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was under 12 fantasy points,
There's
which for
teams
him,
with Lamar and Jahmyr Gibbs,
and
like
Lamar.
one that I have.
Oh.
I have a team with Lamar and Jahmyr Gibbs.
that was brutal. Lamar was
tough.
absolutely, Lamar was very tough. Yes.
He doesn't look right.
No, sir, he does
The
not.
two touchdowns kind of saved Jalen Hurts from being completely like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Zay
it was-
Flowers should have had a big
Ooh, Zay.
game there, but the offensive pass interference.
0.6.
Zay Flowers had a bad game. Yeah. Zay Flowers had a very bad game against the Bengals. Whatever. We'll talk about it on Monday or tomorrow. Lamar Jackson being this bad against the Bengals.
It's
like,
tough.
Well,
he's
this
been
isn't
bad for a while.
It's not
but-
Lamar Jackson, though. Whoever
Bad omen.
Okay.
I got a question here, and we're getting to those from the chat on YouTube. This from Tony Pesh. 94, pick one, full PPR, Buka McMillan or Gadsden. Lamar sunk me, need a W to make the playoffs. Please help, Great Ankler.
You know what? I like that nickname. That's a way to go. The Great Ankler. I feel like I should start a lodge. You hear about the Grand Poobah.
in your native Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here in my native Connecticut. I'm going to start the, unlike the Elks Club, I'm going to be the ankle. We're just
The
ankle club. And Ibuka is the answer here. I just think he's the most talented. He's got the best quarterback. I get the questions. I actually think all 3 of those guys are probably fine today, but I'm nervous a little bit about Tirico and McMillan against the Rams. That secondary is playing so well. We like Gadsden, especially at a tight end, but they got McConkey, they got QJ, they got they got Keenan Allen, so I think Ibuka is the answer there, especially now that Baker is back.
8 quarterbacks have already played, so the top 10 ranks look a little different than we'd normally see. And my guy, Bo Nix, cracks the top 5 right now, Matthew, at Washington.
Yeah, since week 6, no team allows more higher yards per pass attempt than my Commanders. They're giving up 9.5. 5 of the past 6 quarterbacks to face Washington have scored at least 19 fantasy points off the bye. I think they get Bo Nix a little bit right here as well. Commanders defense just doesn't have enough bodies at this point.
Yeah. For me, I'm looking at
top 5 play today.
All right, we got the question.
Yeah,
first.
let's pop into the question real quick, and then we'll get to Jackson Dart, who's a spot behind Bo Nix. 2 quarterback lead, have to drop one. Wow, this is a tough.
Wow. The answer is Baker Mayfield, who you should drop.
Yes. Baker's been tough, Jay's right. Baker Mayfield's the guy you drop there. He's the guy fantasy-wise that you feel least great about. He hasn't been great, recently just from a fantasy production. By the way, look at his, you missed it, the avatar was like Godzilla, but it was Cookie Monster. It was like Cookie Monster against
I'm glad I didn't see it.
No, it was Cookie Monster against these mountain backdrops looking like Godzilla with his big mouth open. And look at that. What is going on there, right? That's it's like a.
Yep.
But it's like a Van Gogh painting as well.
Something.
Strange.
Is that a mountain or is that just something like on his shoulders?
I thought it was a sweater.
Yeah, is he like just. Is that
sweater on the Cookie
Monster?
Monster?
Hang on. Is that Cookie Monster or is that Grover? That could be Grover.
Might be Grover.
Yeah.
Grover Stewart?
No, Grover.
I know.
You know Grover.
Yeah, I know Grover.
Come on. Yeah. Everyone knows Grover. Super Grover? Come on. All right, anyway. All right, 16
It's
Ray.
J.J. McCarthy.
It's a little weird. Sorry.
Wow.
Let's move on.
Yeah, but no. Jackson Dart. I was about to say that. Jackson Dart in your top 5. Look, the thing is with Jackson Dart now, it's like there's been a lot of talk about how does he run or, how you going to distribute. I think he's still going to run. It's part of his game. He was averaging 8 carries for 45 yards before his injury, and he scored a rushing touchdown in each game but one this season. Like you said earlier, George, they're competing in every game. I do think they'll cover, and it'll be because Jackson Dart and his legs and being able to extend those plays.
Drop it down to 11 through 20. Daniel Jones just outside the top 10 at 11. Borderline has to be a 2-quarterback league to start Daniel Jones. What do you say, Matthew?
Yeah, for me, again, he's QB. He's not even in the top 10. We've had 8 teams play, and he still doesn't make the top 10 here. Since I've given the stat up before on the show, but since week 3, a little bit, only 2 quarterbacks have scored even 14 fantasy points against this Texans defense. They generate pressure at the second highest rate. Jones is clearly not healthy, right? He's not 100%. So they got after Josh. They sunk Josh, sacked. Good Lord, English is my second language. They sacked Josh Allen 8 times last week, and he was running for his life. And now you've got Daniel Jones, who is, let me just check my notes here. Oh yeah, not Josh Allen. So yeah, there's always a chance. But yeah, I think I would prefer to use another quarterback than Indiana Jones this week.
Jay, what's your take on the game conditions and the impact it's going to have on Brock Purdy, who's outside the top 10?
Yeah, not a great impact on Brock Purdy. The last time he played in Cleveland was 2 years ago when the Niners made the Super Bowl and had by far the best offense in football. And that day, in the cold, in Cleveland, what Brock Purdy did, 12 for 27, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and lost the game to Cleveland's Browns starting quarterback. Trivia question: was P.J. Walker?
Oh, yes.
He lost to P.J. Walker. Brock Purdy almost won MVP that year. I thought it was DTR off the top of my head.
That's right. I was going to go Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
I was thinking DTR.
But it was P.J. Walker won that game.
One of the 42 Browns starting quarterbacks since 1990.
P.J. Walker's an XFL great,
I literally just about to say XFL legend P.J. Walker.
Then he had the one bomb with DJ Moore for the Panthers when they beat the Falcons.
And DJ Moore got the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. Great moments for PJ Walker. Great moments for
DJ Moore got screwed on that one, by the way. The play was over.
Yeah.
He was outside. He wasn't on the field.
Agreed. Anyway,
ridiculous.
Try not to start Brock Purdy today in the cold if you can avoid it.
All right, let's check out the running back ranks 1 through 10, and Travis Etienne. And you dropped the stat during Fantasy Football Happy Hour this week on red zone touches for Etienne in recent weeks, Matthew.
Yeah, look, 4 straight games with 18 or more touches. He's been the 7th best running back in fantasy over that stretch. And it's a nice matchup with Tennessee, who allow the 2nd most rushing touchdowns to opposing running backs this season. Travis Etienne makes the love list this week as well. Again, we just sort of think about how this game plays out. You don't need to really throw that much against Tennessee. I don't think Liam Cohen wants Trevor Lawrence to throw that much. So ETN should get a big workload here. I don't know what's going on with Bashal Tutin. We all thought last week was going to be the Bashal Tutin breakout game, and then he doesn't touch the ball at all. So whether Tutin gets some work or not, depending on how this game script goes, we know that there's a floor there, both a floor and a ceiling for ETN, especially in this matchup against Tennessee.
Question here from
Nate Nugent.
There we go, 79. Help! Too many options. That's a good problem to have. Pick 3. Henderson, ETN, Harvey, Dowdle, or Irving. Full PPR. Thanks, guys. Love the show.
Thank you, Nate Nugent.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Nate Nugent. We love you. I think you have them ranked in the correct order for me. So I think the first 3 guys, Travion Henderson, Travis Etienne, who I'm just talking about, and RJ Harvey against my terrible Commanders are the guys that I would start. Dowdle has started to drift down the last couple of weeks, and obviously we've talked about that Rams defense quite a bit. I just don't want to go against the Rams defense if I can help it. And now you've got Bucky Irving, which has a good matchup, but we're a little uncertain about the workload between him, Rachaad White, and Sean Tucker. Again, I prefer Irving if I'm starting a Bucs running back, but Henderson, Etienne, and Harvey are the clear lead backs on good offenses. Or in the case of Etienne, a solid offense in a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much this has totally been absorbed in the national consciousness, exactly how good the Rams defense is. Statistically, they are the best defense in football this year. I don't think it kind of feels that way because they don't have, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey like they did when they were making the Super Bowl and winning it a few years ago. But this team is super deep. They have no weak links.
They have drafted phenomenally, particularly along that front defensive line.
Jared Verse and
Kobe Turner, that front 4 is. And then your boy, Emmanuel Forbes.
Good.
Balling over there.
He is. It's so annoying. It's just further proof of just what a disaster the Ron Rivera era was in Washington. That Emmanuel Forbes, a first-round pick, they released him, and now he's it just goes to show there was a good player in there. No. You just needed actually good coaching to get it out of him, and we didn't have it in Washington.
The best team in football was comfortable leaving Emmanuel Forbes on an island with Jackson Smith and Jigba and lived to tell the tale.
That's right. It's just again, it's just It's just another failure of the Ron Rivera era. Just exactly.
I can't wait for that rematch later in the year, Rams Seahawks.
Yeah.
Can we comfortably say the Pats' backfield has flipped to the point where Travion Henderson's the league dog week to week?
I think so. I think last week was instructive where Travion got a significant majority of the carries compared to Ramondre Stevenson. Sometimes logic just wins out. Travion Henderson is better than Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know how else to slice it. And now he gets a super favorable matchup against the Giants defense that just gave up 1 million yards to Jahmyr Gibbs and has been historically bad as a rushing defense this year. So I think that this is an amazing matchup for Travion Henderson, and I'd expect him to get the lion's share of the workload again.
And we've touched on the matchup. Kenneth Walker has 11 through 20 as they're taking on the Vikes, and he's just inside your top 15, Matthew.
Yeah, look, last week played a season high in snaps. He's now had 4 straight games with a goal line attempt. We kept wondering, why did they keep giving it to Zach Charbonnet? And they still do. But at least Ken Walker's getting a sniff of the goal line as well. Top five implied team total for the Seahawks as heavy favorites at home against Minnesota. So to me, Ken Walker in a game script here, I think he has a strong start. He's my running back 14. You're always nervous about Charbonnet vulturing at the goal line here, but again, they continue to increase the workload for KW3. Ved says, half-point PPR, pick 2, need this for a must-win. Help this fella regular. Shakir, Walker, Uncle Rico, Franklin, and Michael Wilson. I think the answer here is the running backs here. I just talked up Ken Walker here. I'm nervous about Dowdle against that Rams defense, but then you sit here and you're looking at these other wide receivers guys. In a full PPR, I might have a different answer, but in half-point PPR, the answer is probably the 2 running backs here.
I'll go 2 running backs, yeah.
I will say I kind of like Shakir. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. I think
if it was full PPR, you go a little Shakir.
Full PPR, I would, but half PPR, I feel like the running backs have the better chance at a touchdown.
Yeah. Yep, agreed.
Ryan Oswald chiming in from the chat. I'm not buying the Matthew Berry injury designation. He has been dialed in and glued for week 13. The chat saying you're bringing your A game this week, Berry.
Unbelievable.
You know what I've done? You know what's happened there, George? Can I tell you the secret? I have done such a good job of lowering the bar that when I show up, when I show up and I'm like, oh, you're reasonably confident today. Like, whoa, Barry's on fire.
You haven't spilled, so the chat's.
I was going to say, I fear for your laptop, George.
It's like talking about a perfect game. We're 90 minutes in.
You know how you are about
spills.
them electronics.
I mean, it is.
Danger.
It's a little bit like the seventh inning of a no-hitter. Like, no one should be talking to me during the commercial breaks.
Not even looking at you.
You should, you should move away. Yeah, exactly right. We'll see. Long way to go. A lot of show left. All right.
One running back to go, R.J. Harvey, who de facto has taken command of the Broncos' backfield with J.K. Dobbins out for the rest of the year.
And he didn't do much against Kansas City, only 50 yards from scrimmage. But I think a lot of people had too high of expectations. But I think we talked about, hey, he's going to get around 15-ish touches, and he got 14 touches. He didn't do much with them. Has a better matchup now, but he played 61% of the snaps. No other running back played more than 8% of the snaps, and now you're going up against Washington, who allows the 5th most fantasy points per game to running back. So definitely expect a better outing from R.J. Harvey this go-around.
Dip over to our wide receiver ranks. Davante Adams at number 3. Saw this on Twitter, someone making the comparison of Davante Adams serving as the Rams goal line back. And we've seen that the last 5 weeks. Matthew.
I mean, it's factually correct, to be honest with you, right? I mean, the fact is they get in close, and it's just like, oh, here's a quick fade to Davante Adams. Here's a quick slant to Davante Adams. He's been unbelievable. The past 5 games, he's got 11 end zone targets. 11, not red zone, end zone. 11 different times he's gotten a look in the end zone in just the last 5 games. That's almost 2 a game, Jay. I did that math in my head.
It's good.
I don't want to brag here, but that's when you've got a Twain-like brain. When you're you're a young Mark Twain out here, you're able to just boom, boom, boom.
A young MT.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I am as well. He's been a top 12 wide receiver for the past 5 games. He's averaging basically 20 fantasy points per game. No J.C. Horn, as we talked about, for the Carolina Panthers in this one. And the most important fact that I can give you is that he's starting for backup producer Pete against me. So I'm telling you, a 30-point game incoming. He's going to absolutely crush. He's going to kill my game, kill my dreams, my hopes, all of it. Crush me like a grape. I'm gonna get my grape slap.
I'm not sure that's what a crushing grape looks like.
That's more the Cookie Monster. Just chop, 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 chop.
The grape's right there, and you're squishing it.
Yep. Okay.
Troubling.
Confidence level with Jalen Waddle and what we've seen in this Dolphins offense.
Hi, George. Yeah. Since Tirico went down, 5 of the 7 games, he's had 80-plus receiving yards. One of the games he didn't was that crazy game in the wind against Cleveland that I think you throw out. So Jalen Waddle, legit wide receiver 1.
We've been teasing Khalil Shakir and what we're going to see in this Bills offense, Matthew.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing for all of the sins of the Bills last week against the Texans, Khalil Shakir was at least pretty good. And part of the reason why is because they're getting him the ball. He's had at least a 23% target share for the past 5. And it's a nice matchup with Pittsburgh because the Steelers allow the 6th most yards per game to slot receivers. Obviously, Shakir, not Shakur as some people call him, but Khalil Shakir is a top 20 play for me today, again, with 8 teams already having played. The slot matchup against Pittsburgh and the fact that he gets the majority of the looks from Josh Allen, who I do believe will be better today than he was against the Texans, makes Shakir a viable wide receiver 3 in full PPR.
We said how disappointing Justin Jefferson has been. He's still inside the top 20 because we've had so many wide receivers who are off the rack and have already played this week. But
which is crazy.
That number, 56.5, blindsided me. That's where his prop is set at for receiving yards.
You know why it's like that? Because the last 4 games, he's averaged 48 receiving yards. So only 1 total touchdown in that time. Got to temper the expectations, but you hope for a little bit better with a new guy under center.
For tight ends, and is it contractually obligated that every week you have to talk about Juwan Johnson, Matthew? Part of
yes, it is.
Championship team?
Yeah, it's super weird that they just threw that in as a rider at the end of my contract. But, I'm a company man. You cash the checks, you got to do the job. And the job includes talking about Juwan Johnson and the fact that he's finished as a top 12 fantasy tight end in all 3 of Tyler Shuck's starts. And it's a nice matchup against Miami. They allow the 4th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends this season. I'm not saying Juwan Johnson is awesome, but I am saying you could do worse and probably have.
Harold Fannin, and you thought he's a guy you could still potentially start this week given role within the red zone offense for the Browns?
This is why 30% of the targets last week with Shedeur in there was able to catch 4 for 40, so he's still their leading receiver. He's still their main guy.
11 through 20, last tight end we're going to get to, who's making his return, Brenton Strange for the Jags.
Yeah, we always like looking for Strange. This is a desk that does that often, and in this case, we found Brenton Strange playing the Titans. Double-digit fantasy points in each of his last 3 healthy games. So Strange against this Titans team that we think they'll be able to move the ball against. 21st against the pass over the last 4 weeks. Not really scared about it. There does seem to be a connection. Lawrence is more comfortable going in the middle of the field as well, so he suddenly becomes sort of interesting there.
All right, Flippity Cup.
You want to explain the rules here?
I do.
Let me know.
No, it's your favorite part of the show.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to down, up, down, drink, and then flip. Somebody get in my ear and remind me who I picked for touchdown, by the way, in the minute while we're doing this.
That's the best part of the segment.
I never remember. All right. Down, up, down, drink.
Bang.
Jay won.
So,
oh my God.
Wow, this is atrocious.
I fumbled it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Whatever, we got to take
One
it.
of the great cheaters.
We gotta take it.
Wow.
Jay, you win. You get to pick first.
The cheater.
Who's your touchdown guy?
Does Mark Twain cheat as well? I'm going to take Kyron Williams, favorable matchup against the Panthers as a 10-point favorite.
Give me
Did you finish second?
Yeah, I finished second. Give me Bucky Irving, man. Look, like if they're gonna let him play, he's playing. Arizona's one of 8 teams who have allowed double-digit rushing touchdowns to running backs. Give me Bucky in his return game.
Yeah, against the Saints, give me Devon Achane, who just always seems to find the end zone. Off the bye, should be fully healthy. Big workload coming against a Saints defense that doesn't scare you.
I picked Devontae Adams last week. He cashed himself 9 touchdowns his last 5 games. So rolling with Tay another week for the Rams. As we keep it rolling here on Fantasy Football Pregame. Good morning from Raymond James Stadium and welcome back, Bucky Irving. I want to hear more of the Bucky Irving story when Todd Bowles said he didn't treat his injury right. What happened to keep Bucky Irving out so long? Fantasy owners around America are wondering, and hopefully he gives them a boost going into the playoffs.
What does he mean by treat your injury right? Did he not take the injury out to dinner? Did he not tuck it in at night? Was he mean to the injury?
The mind wonders. Oh, we've been searching for a controversy on fantasy football pregame, and we have one. Flip Cupgate. Barry, the
cover himself in
thiefler,
shame.
stealing my cup.
The Shamler.
Shamelessler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame.
How can you sleep
You
at
got a lot of lurs this
Yeah.
season. We just gonna call you Big Lur.
I'm fine with that as well.
the cheatler?
Lur.
What he should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said yes.
Yeah, you just wear it.
Wow. Not since A-Rod slapped the ball out of, was it Jason Varitek's glove? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Tough scene.
It was on the ground. I had a choice. I could either bend down to grab mine, or I could take George's, and I decided to take George's.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, you know
You
what?
ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You expect anything different, though?
That's right. That's right.
Beer goggles, scale of 1 to 5 beers. What would it take for you to
next week?
start these
I might deflate my cup next week, just so you know. Just thinking.
Better grip.
Yeah, better.
4
Yeah,
weeks
exactly.
suspension.
Yeah.
You want me to tee it up?
Yeah. That's fine. I got
Bills
it.
and Steelers, Jalen Warren, how many beers?
1.5 beers. Remember, of course, this is for a normal person. I'm, of course, impervious to beer as well. But
As
Jalen
we've
Warren,
seen.
just a beer and a half, like nothing. I'm just being social at this point. You know, I'm at running back 12 this week, or at least today, with 8 teams already gone. He's had at least 70% of the team's running back rush attempts for the past 5 healthy games. Bills allow the 3rd most yards to opposing running backs this season. You can run on Buffalo. I expect a heavy workload for both Steelers running backs, but especially Jalen Warren for Pittsburgh. 1.5 beers. You're starting Jalen Warren. Come on.
How are we feeling with Kenneth Gainwell?
Based on what Matthew said, for me too, it's just 2 beers. Look, 16 touches, over 100 scrimmage yards in 2 straight games for Kenneth Gainwell, and that's with Jalen Warren. So like Matthew said, you feel good about both running backs. So just to have more beer than Jalen Warren for me.
How many beers do you need, Jay, for DK Metcalf?
Yeah, 3 beers with 4 more likely than 2. It's still DK Metcalf in a matchup where you expect that the Steelers will have to throw a little bit as field goal underdogs against Buffalo. At the same time, DK Metcalf hasn't given you a lot of reasons to put faith in him, but still, the name brand still carries some merit for a reason.
West Coast matchup next, Raiders and Chargers. Barry, we're going to start with Ladd McConkey and the Chargers.
Yeah, just 2 beers. I'm as a top 10 wide receiver play with 8 teams already having gone 15 fantasy points or more in 4 of the last 6 games. He's had 3 20-point games. And coming out of the bye, I think, again, this Chargers offense is going to be pretty good against a Vegas defense that the secondary is where you attack. I think they're pretty good on the defensive line, but the secondary is a place to attack, especially given the fact that the Raiders allow the 6th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. So, yeah, Ladd McConkey is a top 10 play for me today. Just 2 beers. Nothing. It's nothing to me.
Lawrence Quentin Johnson.
I go drive kids after that. It's nothing to me. Again, I'm personally impervious to beer.
Yeah, as we've seen on the show week to week. Lawrence,
when I show up hungover on the show, that's margaritas, that's Pinot Matty, that's never beers.
Never beer, Matty.
Never beers.
Unbelievable.
We're getting a breathalyzer
if
for the final week.
Listen, if NBC would allow me, we could line up a bunch of beers and we'll do one full show, and I will pound as many beers for throughout 2 hours, and you can breathalyze me at the
Every
end of
half hour we breathalyze you just to see where it's going.
If NBC will allow it, I will do that. I will sign up for that.
God, must see TV. Okay, to QJ, how many beers? He's been in hibernation, but he did have a big game against the Raiders early in the season.
Yeah, earlier in the season, that's the whole thing about it. He was a top 5 receiver weeks 1 through 4, right? But wide receiver 55 in fantasy points per game in the last few, so 3.5 beers. It's been the Ladd McConkey show for a while now. You still got those other pass catchers, and who knows how long they'll even have to throw. So 3.5 beers for QJ.
You need any beers to start Aronze Gadsden?
Just 1 beer for O, as he is known in these parts. Ronde Gadsden, he's just a locked-in tight end 1 on a team that passes the ball a ton. Ronde Gadsden, you can largely pencil him in for 5 receptions, 50 yards, that type of guy.
Vikings and Seahawks, and it's been rough. Rough sledding for Jordan Addison, and now he's got Max Brosmer slinging it.
Yeah, no question about it. Look, 5 straight games with under 50 receiving yards. He's wide receiver 55 since week 8. So I would want 4 beers, again, which for a normal person would make them drunk. For me, I would actually start to feel something. 4 beers since week 7. It's not a good matchup, by the way. Seattle allows the 7th fewest fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. I think the Vikings could get shut out in this game. I think there's a chance, like you want to talk about, like Jay always talks about this in terms of betting. like the biggest opportunity to exploit the books is variance. We have no idea what Max Brosmer is going to be. We just have no idea. And so there's a scenario where he's awesome, but there's also a scenario where there's a reason why he's a third string, undrafted free agent rookie on the road at Seattle, and Seattle wins 28-0. And so I would take the Seahawks at plus money, take them to win by 3 touchdowns. Take under on the Vikings team total.
I like that, and by the same token, I like Justin Jefferson at plus 500 to get 100 receiving yards, because we just don't know.
That's
We
right.
don't know.
It could be that one big play,
Exactly.
catch and run.
Yeah.
With this Vikings backfield, it's been predominantly Aaron Jones since he's been back in the fold, Lawrence.
Yeah, still going to take me 3 beers to start him, though, even though he's had at least 12 touches, 4 straight games, which is a bit more than Jordan Mason. But now you got this tough matchup. Like Matthew said, you got the young, unproven rookie, undrafted rookie starting at quarterback. Seattle allows the 6th fewest fantasy points per game to the running back position, so I would need 3 to start Aaron Jones.
Only our sicko league would Max Brosmer be rostered and potentially started, and I assume that would be like a million beers to start him for most leagues.
He is starting. He is starting against me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pete's starting him against me last I looked. So, yeah.
But other sideline, how many beers for Sam Darnold?
Just 1 beer. Now, the concern is that he may not get the volume, where they're 11.5-point favorites. There have been games where Sam Darnold has thrown the ball 11 times, but JSN only needs 4 or 5 catches to give Sam Darnold value. Darnold, we have 2 years of sample of Darnold just being an elite top 10 quarterback.
Sunday night football game, Broncos and Commanders. So let's start with Broncos back, R.J. Harvey, Matthew, going up against your Commanders D.
Yeah, 1.5 beers, literally nothing. I'm just being social at that point. Since week 4, my Commanders allow the 3rd most fantasy points per game to opposing backfields. They also give up the 2nd most yards per reception to running backs this season. Obviously, R.J. Harvey, a big part of that passing attack for Denver. I think coming out of the bye, I think they've probably worked with Harvey, whose pass protection has improved, and they want him to be the guy. It's a Sean Payton offense. It's always going to have multiple running backs. But the head of this 3-headed monster will be R.J. Harvey, in positive game script against my Commanders tonight. I think Harvey has a nice game. He's my running back 13.
Lawrence, the fantasy impact, and let's measure it in beers with Scary Terry back if you're starting Deebo Samuel.
Honestly, man, just 2 beers here. He scored in 2 straight games. If they could find themselves inside the 20-yard line, I think Deebo is always on high alert to get a touchdown, because that's exactly what has happened these past 2 games. I think he has a better rapport with Marcus Mariota than Terry McLaurin does, and I think that'll show. Would much rather have him this particular game than Terry McLaurin.
So I've been waiting for Terry to get healthy in the League of Assholes. How many beers would you need to start him?
I think 4 beers for Terry. Brutal matchup with Pat Surtain back for Denver. His receiving prop on DraftKings is set in the low 40s. Not much chance of getting a touchdown either. So Terry McLaurin, 4 beers. I prefer to look elsewhere.
Okay, you total it up. You 2 guys, Jay and Matthew, 9 beers. Lawrence, the big beer guy this week, 10.5. So
Oh, damn.
28.5 total for the desk.
You're the glugler.
Man, tough.
Lawrence has been the guy at 4-7 with the better record.
I mean,
That's
if you
cashing. But Matthew every week goes home with the Aussie. It seems like 7 out of 11 weeks.
One of us is Max Brosmer, the other one is J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's what I
and we still don't know who is who.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's been bad. It's been tough.
I will say this. I think last week my one doing Keaton Mitchell, that had to have been my worst in 3 years. I should have never done that shit. Like, that was just, no. Like, I was disappointed as soon as we got off the set, but I'm here. I'm ready for the.
You watched the tape, you got better, and you're ready to.
I watched the tape, I got better, and now I'm giving you Brock Purdy.
Okay.
You know, look, we talked about the weather all day, but we saw ain't no snow on that ground now.
Yeah.
Gonna be a little chilly, a little cold. And we talked about Brock Purdy's past and him playing in colds. 120-something yards passing, 110, whatever. So look, 20 passing yards each quarter plus 105. 20, that's it. Cleveland has allowed this in 9 straight quarters. Look how they've been dominating these quarterbacks. Geno, Lamar, even Justin Fields got a quarter in there. He's that one. That's what makes it an odd number, right? 9 straight quarters. So 8 of the 9 past 9 quarters The Cleveland Browns have allowed 40 passing yards.
Okay.
So give me 20 for Brock Purdy. He might throw picks, but that doesn't matter in this. Just 20 passing yards each quarter for Brock Purdy.
It's our most elaborate pickup
This
line.
could be the best or worst bet I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Okay, Matthew.
Better than Keith Mitchell last week.
Matthew, I know my team.
Yes.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, you do.
That's
You're a
why-
man. You're a Colts man.
That's why my bet is the Texans +3.
Okay.
What if I told you that there was a quarterback who was already very shaky, now he has a broken leg, and he's playing the most ferocious pass rush in the sport of football, with Will Anderson looking like he's going to finish top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year, Daniil Hunter, etc. Daniel Jones has excelled this year when he's been able to throw to open receivers. He is a first read merchant, and that's fine. That's his job in this system. He's not going to be able to throw to open guys that often against this Texans defense. I think the market is not properly accounting for how this game could get out of hand. Just picture if they go down early and it's Daniel Jones having to drop back with a broken leg against Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, like how is this going to go? Yeah. I think that the Chiefs game, I thought the scoreline flattered my Colts, to be honest. They should have lost that game by more. Very concerned about Jones in the passing game here. I think the Texans cover +3.
Yeah. So I got to go home with Jay. I'm sorry.
You can't say that.
Lawrence.
It's that one night Buffalo.
20 passing yards.
I understand, Lawrence. I
All
understand.
those dump-offs to McCaffrey.
I know, but it's plus money for a reason, you know.
105. It's like 2 ticks away from being minus.
I'm just
2 ticks away. That's your howler. That's your howler. It's almost minus.
I think both bets are interesting, but you know, you're just, you know, in a game like this, could there be a pick six or something like that? You got Shador. Could there just be a defensive touchdown where just there's a quarter where Purdy doesn't get like a lot of, you know, where there's 1 3 and out, or you know, there's defensive like those type bets are always sort of tricky. Like I don't know.
It is.
Like when you've got Jay, who's as big a Colts man as there is, saying, "Give me the Texans +3."
Abandon the shoe.
Yeah.
I don't argue
Put the shoe
with
in
what
the
he
closet.
said.
Right.
Not one bit, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm going home with Jay. I'll take both bets, but I'm officially taking Jay's Texans +3.
You keep chasing that high of that one night in Buffalo, and it keeps disappointing you every week on Fantasy Football
I know,
Pregame.
but next week
Barry can't quit.
High in the country. Barry can't quit, Jay.
I really can't. By the way, with the Cowboy, that's right. It's Brokeback Aussie. 1,000.
You're going to be broke if you keep riding these bets that don't cash.
Go 3 and 10 coming up.
You see that? That looked like a man
eating
who's
up.
about to throw 20 yards in every quarter.
I got to talk to NBC.
He
about
got his
increasing
hand
my
in his
salary.
pocket.
I keep taking these J bets, but we're in Kansas City next Saturday night, so maybe I'll recreate magic
Can't wait.
there.
Yeah. Could be new sweet music in KC.
Yeah.
Bringing the show on the road for Texans Chiefs.
I'm gonna put barbecue sauce all over you.
Dear God.
Oh, man.
Barry throwing an absolute haymaker to break there. The chat just reeling from the barbecue sauce comment.
Throwing something.
Cleats for a bigger purpose today for CMC. My cause, my cleats. Learn more about CMC's cause and donate here. But Jay saying Quinshon Judkins
Look at
is
this.
gonna
It's an
outrush
ass cookie.
CMC today.
Come on.
And Matthew, those standings, 28 games over 500. We only got 2 minutes to go to pad Matthew's lead, who is just dominated.
What's the record for
In bar
most?
trivia.
Because when I won, it was only like 1-0 something. And we in week 13, and my man got 90.
Unbelievable.
Barry's dominating. All right,
Unbelievable.
we're under 2 minutes. We got about 12, 13 of these to get to. So more rushing
let's
yards.
go.
We already got Jay's answer here. More rush yards, CMC or QJ?
CMC.
Judkins.
CMC.
More passing yards,
no.
Trevor Lawrence or Cam Ward?
Ooh.
The Traveler.
Lawrence.
Cam Ward.
More fantasy points, Nico Collins or Michael Pittman?
Nico.
Nico.
More receiving yards, Olave or Jalen Waddle?
Waddle.
Waddle.
More total yards, Bijan Robinson or Brees Hall?
Bijan.
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 More receiving yards, Michael Wilson or Mecca Buka?
Mecca.
Emeka Buka.
Wilson.
More total yards, Kyron Williams or Rico Dowdle?
Kyron Williams.
Kyron.
More fantasy points, Justin Jefferson or Kenneth Walker?
Oh,
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker, man.
More rushing yards, James Cook or Jalen Warren?
James Cook.
James Cook.
Jalen Warren.
More receiving yards, Ladd McConkey or Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers.
McConkey.
Brock Bowers.
More receptions, Cortland Sutton or Debo Samuel?
Debo.
Cortland Sutton.
And
Debo.
more fantasy points, Drake May or Jackson Dart?
Drake May. Darake Maye.
Yes.
Now we just,
Drake May.
Drake May.
guys, look ahead forecast for next Sunday in Kansas City.
Yeah.
36 degrees, the high.
Oh, my God.
You guys
You're
handled the
bundle up.
cold so well in Philly.
Man, you're going to be asking for that barbecue. Slap it more on me. Warm me up.
warm
Get
me
me
up.
some spicy barbecue.
All about layers.
Yeah, it's all about layers. Anyway, we're back on Monday for Fantasy Football Happy Hour. That music means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Go get yourself a win. Good luck in Week 13 for Lawrence, George, and Jay. I'm Matthew. Peace out.